Some pictures I like. There's a lot of pictures I took of my hair yesterday. I mean, she's a supermodel, so it's hard to, like, if you take her out, but I like her hair a lot.
Okay.
But I don't know how much, I think I have more dark than I thought I had, because around my face is really white. But then back there, right?
Yeah.
I guess I want to know what you think also.
Okay. What is your color history?
I have not seen my natural hair color in I've always colored my hair like bright red or a lot of different colors. And then I didn't stop coloring it before I realized it was getting gray. So now what I do is I just box dye the roots. I don't dye the... Many years ago, I think it's all grown out, I had somebody get all the brown dye out and slowly make it blonde.
Yeah.
But I doubt very much of that is left. I think all of this is root.
Which parts are
dye.
bugging you?
The yellowness of it,
Okay.
and there's this part, like the real yellow. I
In the
feel
back?
like, yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I look like Hulk Hogan or something. I feel like it looks like it's just too solidly one color. And I think it's pretty when I look at it just on its own, against my face. And then I feel like I should make it so I can grow it out to gray.
So you essentially want it a little darker? Because that photo looks darker than your hair.
Yes, the photo of her gray. But doesn't it seem like I have a lot of that in there? This is where your opinion.
I normally, like, even if we were to add dark back into your hair,
Yeah.
it would fade out like brownish. I don't think you would like that.
Okay.
Yeah. What I was going to do is just kind of blend and get you a little bit more like even, get the yellow, get rid of more of the yellow out, and get it more like platinum silver. Yeah.
And have none of the dark in there.
We can do it, but you're not gonna like the way that it fades.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. Tone wise, we could like tone you to be darker if you're feeling like you're too blonde, but like even so, you have risk of it fading more of a tannish tone the more darker you go.
Okay.
Yeah. The other option would just be like a more violety gray tone.
I guess I have to, I don't know what to think because I was sort of hoping for something like that.
I can do a more like darker gray tone. Her hair looks really beigey to me rather than like silver.
Yeah.
Gray. You know, it has more of like a tan to the gray.
Even in there, yeah.
Right there, that's her natural root. Just
Yeah.
like your natural root is really white, but like from the mids to the ends, it looks very beigey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't think that's good? Like,
I mean, no, it's good. It's just, it's not gonna fade white. So there's three versions of the gray color that I can do. We have a more beigey gray, which is the other first photo you showed me on your phone of that. That's what it looks like in her photos. And then there's this one that's darker, which is the violet gray. And then there's this one, which is more of a silver white.
I see.
Yeah. Do you see the differences?
yes.
Yeah.
And I think what I have, like, I think I like the beige, but if you think it's a bad idea, I definitely want your opinion. You know, I want...
Let's just do the beige then. If I'm just letting you know that it fades out like tannish. It doesn't fade bright blonde, silver white.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Because I think what I don't like when my hair has no dimension, and I'm worried that the silver will just look like no, because this has dimension. My hair color has right. There's color in it.
Yeah.
I liked that there was some dimension in it.
Okay, then if you're okay with some of the color fading tannish, we can do the lowlights, and it'll just fade more tannish tone if you want to do that. To add in more depth, because right here it's very solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't mind it fading, you like the beigey look, then I would say go for it. But just knowing that like most clients, like when it fades out like tan beige, it doesn't fade out as like silver.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I think so.
Yeah, it fades out more like that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all. It's just the two different fades because they're two different products that I would be using.
And then if it fades out and I think it should be more silvery,
yeah. If you want it back to more silvery, then we'll have to take out the dimension, relighten everything,
and then
bring it back to solid.
If you do the silver, it'll all just be silver.
Yeah.
No dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So those are the two options. You either do full on silver, no dimension, or you could do the dimension, but it's going to fade out a little beigey and tannish tone. because of the products that we're using.
And then if I do the silver, how do you think this will grow out?
Soft. It'll grow out soft.
Like,
because it's not as yellow.
Okay. And if I do the beige, how do you think that'll grow out?
That might give you a little bit, it's gonna give you a similar grow out to this because it's not as ashy as your natural. Because right now, you kind of have a little bit, it looks yellow, but imagine that looking beige. That's the grow out it's gonna give you.
Okay. And then the silver, the same thing, if I was like, oh, I wish I did beige, I could come back.
Yeah.
That's probably easier.
That way is easier. If you do silver first and then beige versus going beige first, adding in all those beige pieces and then trying to go silver is a little bit harder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that means you're just going to lift all this kind of yellowish stuff.
Yeah. When's the last time you did highlights? Has it been a while?
Highlights?
Yeah, never?
Years. Yeah.
Years? Okay,
Yeah.
this is all just color.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I would do is I would blend this with highlights to break up your roots so there's some blend to it. And we'll work on just like lightening this up a little bit lighter and then just toning you overall silver.
Okay.
Yeah, but the root and like the transition, you see how there's like a line a little bit? I'm gonna blend that with highlights to just have some sort of transition. So when it grows out, it looks super soft. You're still gonna have the tiniest bit of warmth in between. Are you okay with that? Because otherwise we'd have to bleach you completely solid. Right. But if you wanna maintain some dimension, some of the warmth would be woven in between the lighter pieces.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, like, the back of my hair has a lot of dark, right?
Yeah, it does.
So when it grows out, is there just going to be a line of dark then? Yeah.
No, it'll look blended because you already have some of the dark that's grown out, and I'm going to be adding light in between the dark, so there's going to be something that transitions right now your current dark to the new growth dark, if that makes sense.
I think so.
Yeah. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this week we have a brand new client who has some gorgeous natural silver hair, and she said she's been doing her own roots at home with just permanent color right on top of it, and so this is not highlighted at all. She just has pretty dimension from the permanent color because it takes differently on the hairs that are more pepper versus salt. So she wants to maintain as much dimension as possible, but we also want to get rid of a lot of that golden warmth demarcation line. She has a little bit of regrowth there, so we also just want to blend and utilize as much depth as possible, but also try and get rid of that golden hue and permanent color that she was putting on her hair originally. So if you are new here, I'm going to be going in with my signature placement. I always start in the back, do a few foils around the hairline, and I am going to do that center mohawk section, taking up slices to kind of blend this out. I'm using the Danger Jones lightener, and my lightener I'm using 5 volume, and then I will bump it up to 5 volume and 20 volume for the rest. And that's all that she really needs because her hair is already pretty light. But I'm just going to work through this and try to blend out as much of this golden from her hair. In the front here, I am just going to weave it because I want something that is going to grow out really soft, and I'm just kind of explaining that to her that we are going to make the blend of the front a little bit lighter since she has more white in the front, but nothing too solid because we want it to grow out soft against her natural still. And the reason why I'm going over the lightener to her roots and the mids and ends all in one go is because I want the toner to really lay on the hair cohesively. If I were to just lighten up the golden pieces when I tone her, there won't be something that will help transition or blend the root to the ends. It will still look a little disconnected. So I opted to do the root and the mids and ends all in one go when we do her foils. Now, in our consultation, we did a lot of back and forth whether she wanted to do more of a beigey tone or wanted to do more of a silver tone. And she originally had showed me first pictures of something that was going to be a little bit more silvery when we initially texted through and did a consultation through text message. And then when she arrived to the appointment, she had more beigey inspo photos, which is totally fine. But I just wanted to go over with her what that would really look like, because to me as a gray blending specialist, those colors are completely different. They're two different toners and they fade out completely different. So I always want to make sure that
whenever any type of client, whether it's gray blending, brunettes, blondes, reds, just any color I do on any of my clients are asking for a specific color, I always go down breakdown of what the color is going to look like as it fades, because we all know that color fades. Usually a toner will last about 6 to 8 weeks. That is just typical average lifespan of what the color usually will last. And when it hits that mark to where the color is done fading, it kind of stays that color. So with that being said, I am a gray blending specialist, but I'm also, I would say, a specialist in the sense to where I try to create a color for any of my clients that will fade out the best. We always try to create a game plan to where the fade is something that they still like and can wear and not feel like they have to come back in to get their hair done right away. And so that's kind of how I approach any type of color. So when a client brings in an inspo photo, I let them know, hey, like this is what X, Y, and Z will look like in about 6 to 8 weeks. Is this what your thoughts of what you were expecting the color would be? And depending on the client's response, we'll kind of decide going back and forth what they might like. Now, if a client is unsure, like this one, she wasn't really sure whether she would like it or not, that's when my expertise of experience comes in, because I let her know based off of other client experiences, most clients didn't love having something that would fade out as beigey when they had a gray pattern as silver as hers. Now, if she naturally had a lot more dimension going on, we could totally do the beigey one and it would still fade and blend nicely. But because she generally had a lot of gorgeous silver, I really didn't think that the beige tone would blend as well. And so that's kind of why I was kind of just explaining to her based off of her gray pattern and based off of my past client experiences, what I felt like would fade the best in my opinion, and what would be easier too out of the two to try both. Because even with hair color too, when a client is new, I always kind of explain the other thing about hair color. If you've never done it before, it's going to be a trial and error process, whether you like it or you don't, and you kind of see what you do and don't like. And out of the steps and options that a client will have, it's always best to do the route that is going to make it easier to try the next option. So that's exactly what we did today. We explained all options for her, the fade of it, what it would look like, and we ultimately chose what was going to be the easiest to set us up in case she changed her mind that she wanted to do the other color instead. And so today we are doing the more silver route. And doing it this way, she can still do the more dimensional beigey route next time, and we can totally add the lowlights. But the whole point of gray blending is to ultimately have the client have something that will grow out and fade the best with their natural hair color. And just from my experience, this is kind of what I recommended her to do based off of what her goals were and why she was coming in. And also just deciding that this was going to be easier to change if she ended up not loving it and wanting to try the other color, which is totally fine with me. So I'm going to be going in with the Danger Jones gloss toners for a shadow root application first. Her root formula is a 5-1 with a 6-01, and we're just going to be rooting behind the hairline, especially in the areas where she has natural depth. This is going to give a little bit more of a dimension to her color like she originally wanted anyways, and you'll see in the end too, it does give nice depth to her hair. Not too much, but just a little bit to kind of just blend everything together and melt it all together. And then for more of the silver look, I always like to use a more alkaline toner. So for the alkaline toner, I am using the Danger Jones Artistic Toners, and we are using silver with the Violet Blonde to create something that is going to give her a more brighter silver effect. Now, if we were going to be doing something that was going to be on more of the beigey side and have a more tan taupey fade like we were describing before in the consultation, I would ultimately choose the gloss toners to create more of a gray silver look for her toner next time if that's what she wants, because I find that when the color is more acidic, it does fade out more taupey because it has that level to it. Now, the artistic toners are just straight tone. They're labeled as silver or violet blonde or cool blonde. There is no level like there is with the gloss toners, which are acidic, and the gloss toners are labeled like 1 through 10. The artistic toners have no level to them. They're just tone. So they are generally on the lighter side. Now, the gloss toners, because they are more acidic, when they do fade, they have that beigey taupey background from the level within that color.
Whoa, that's amazing.
How's it feel?
Really good.
Still cracked there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, in the dark, in the dimension.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you grow more of your natural root out, that will allow this to be a little bit longer. So you can be more intentional.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so
It's really nice.
pretty.
It's funny because I never have my hair straight, so I
Yeah.
think it was hard for me to like see it. But when it's like that, I'm like, oh yeah,
It
that's my hair.
good.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So good.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's so pretty.
It's so good. Oh my god. Okay.
It's fancier than I ever have it, but
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, and it goes with the color. Everything's good.
It's really nice. Thank you.
Alrighty guys, so this was the final product from the color. She does have beautiful depth right at her root from her shadow root and from the hair that we left out as her dimension. Now when she comes in for a touch-up, she has a few options depending on what she likes and how this faded out. I always ask my clients if there was anything bugging them or anything that they love so that we can alter their next appointment and make it more custom to their liking based off of the way that they felt like it faded out. And so whether she wants to add more depth next time, we could do low lights if she's okay with it fading beigey, or she could honestly just try and grow out a lot of her natural depth, and then we can just start enhancing and building a more blended look off of just her natural gray. But depending on how she feels based off the fade and all of that and the way that it grows in will determine what we do for her next appointment. Alrighty guys, that is it for this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in, and as always, I will talk to you guys next week.